Hello there guys, Feng here, and welcome to Video Blogger Story. Okie dokie then. So, as I said in the last video of mine, I'm going to go ahead and make a feedback video for the devs. There are definitely a few things that need sorting with the game. Now, I understand the game is in early access, of course things are going to change, but we're going to focus on this particular version as it is now. There's no version number for this game at the moment. Devs, please put a version number in the game so as we know what version we're on. But this particular one got released on the 15th of June, so hopefully that's some help. Okay, so there will be some comparisons to other games, other similar games like YouTubers Life and Pro Gamer Manager, because they are very similar. And there will be some comparisons drawn anyway, so I may as well do it for the sake of it. Alright, one of the major things that I think we made pretty obvious in the last video was the clear lack of information on anything. With these types of games you need two things, or one of the two things. You need either a tutorial, a decent tutorial that explains the game mechanics and other things, or a decent tooltip feature. Anything that you offer that gives you a little tooltip about what it does, etc, etc. Now, Pro Gamer Manager did exactly that. There was no tutorial and there was no there wasn't much information on anything in the game, and because of that, the game actually felt really random. It felt like your choices didn't matter. I've already explained this in the video that I made with the dev feedback. But that same problem is with this game as well, sadly. So we'll talk about it as we go along. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a game. We're going to make a let's play. We're going to make a let's play of a horror game. Alright, so here's one of the main things. So, as you can see, we've got two different types of hardware here. We have a basic camera and a Subframe 2.0. There is nothing telling me which one is better. Now, you know, I'm not asking for the game to hold me by the hand and babysit me. That's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is just a simple tooltip explain that this one is better than this one, or this one will increase your views by so much and so much, etc, etc, because that's kind of what it does. The basic camera will give you not too many views, but when you record it with the Subframe, it will give you a few more, quite a bit more viewership. Same with the other stuff as well. That's basically what that covers. So yeah, even just a slight thing saying that this one's better than this one, or any indication, the only indication you have of those devices whether they're better is because they're more expensive. The more expensive the device, the better it's going to be. But you know, I suppose that's more of a common sense thing, but even so, it's still nice just to have some sort of tooltip, just to say that, oh, this is going to perform better than this, etc, etc. Alright, this is another thing as well. It's nice to have sliders. I love sliders in any games like this, because you can adjust, you can basically, you know, min max whatever you want. The problem with this is I have no idea what these even fucking mean. Now I know we had stats. You obviously start off with certain stats when you make a character. The problem is the game doesn't show you that ever again. It doesn't show you what stats you have or anything like that. There's literally no character screen or anything like that. Hopefully that gets added so that you can see what level you are. If they are going to include skills or traits or stuff like that in the game, you know, you'll be able to see that and stuff. But currently there's nothing like that, and it really needs to be in, so that we can see, you know, what we picked and whatnot. Alright, so I have no idea what these do, so I'm going to leave those as it is. Your emotion, same kind of thing, you know. I can make an educated guess. We're covering a horror game, so I suppose either fear, sorrow or surprise would be a decent emotion. Again, the problem is the game doesn't really tell you. Okay, I suppose trial and error, but at the end of the day, once you've done the trial and error, the game should at the very least give you some sort of hint saying, okay, you tried being joyful. with a horror game, and it didn't really work very well. So maybe try something else. And the other problem as well, with because the lack of information that you get from videos, from what you went from anything really, is you're not even sure what emotion you used with a particular video. We'll crack on that in a bit. So yeah, choose difficulty. Again, I have no idea what this does. From what I can tell, it increases the amount of time it takes to make a video if you have a higher difficulty. As far as I can tell, I might be completely wrong. I'm just going by what I've seen, but it might also decrease energy a little bit, and I have no idea what the outcome of that is. It really needs to tell you what changing difficulty will do to the video. Will it give it more viewership if it's more difficult? Will it give it less viewership if it's more difficult? Is it going to cause me to have a headache for a week? A higher thingies, or am I just going to be able to piss everywhere on 50%? You know, the game doesn't tell you that, so we're stuck with 100%. All right. It also fell into another trap that I find very common with these types of simulation games. Once you've made your choices, you're twiddling your thumbs while you're waiting for the stuff to be done. Now, YouTuber's Life has actually kind of overcome that by having a mini game, actually 2 separate mini games, whilst you're making the video. So obviously with YouTuber's Life, when you're actually playing the game, you have to choose cards. You've got a choice of 3 cards, and you know, you basically accrue pieces, jigsaw pieces, by doing that. And those jigsaw pieces you then use in the second part of the mini game, which then you make to edit your video. It's a really cool concept, and it's really there's still something, you know, it still ain't brilliant, but it's a lot better than twiddling your thumbs, which is something I fucking hate in these types of games. So, name your video, blah blah blah. Again, another thing, please have an auto name of some kind with this. You are going to be making a hell of a lot of videos, and the problem with not having an auto namer is, you know, you've got to think of a name for every single video. Even if it's just the name of the game, #1, you know, the game #2, you know, just anything like that will be fine. Because the amount of videos you will be making, it will come to a point where the player just can't be asked to name it properly. Alright, so ad revenue. This is another thing as well. So I actually got access to this when I reached 1,000 subscribers. I actually got access to all 4 choices once I reached 1,000 subscribers. Now, here's the thing. What is the difference between going for this ad revenue rather than going for this ad revenue? Well, you're going to think, well, you're being dumb, because if you go for this one, you'll get $5, but with this one, you'll get $2. You're correct. Yeah, that's exactly what I'll get. But the problem is, the game doesn't tell me if there's any advantage to only going for the $2 one. Maybe I might get more viewership because there's less ads on the channel, or maybe, you know, maybe something cool like that. But the problem is the game doesn't tell you. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to keep picking the $5 one, because, you know, as far as the game's telling me, that's the best one to go for. And as you can see, we've now got we actually got 1,283 views from that. So we're going to go to the video and we're going to have a look. Alright, this is probably the second major gripe I have with this particular system. So one of the cool things I do like is that you got access to all your videos, even the one your very first video, which is fantastic. But you're going to recognise a problem straight away. So I'm going to click on this video. Right, this is my very first video I've ever done. From the information here, can you tell me what the video was about, what game it was about, whether it did any well, and why it did well? Answer: no, you fucking can't. The only thing you can actually deduct from this particular page is, oh, it actually got a few likes and a few comments. That's the only thing I can take away from that. The comment system is not brilliant. I'd say around about 70% of the comments are not useful. It doesn't. It's not helped by the fact that there's the up and down system for the comments, because it makes it so that, oh, okay, he's saying good video, okay, and you know, got 3 thumbs up, but then there might be someone else who says, yeah, fuffle, and then get 4 votes down, and I'm thinking, well, people are saying this video is good, and yet you're contradicting it. You know, it's funny. It's not the best way to gain information. Let's just say that. So I think what I would like to see with these videos is not necessarily, you know, at the bare minimum, maybe just an overview of what the game is, maybe what kind of emotion I showed during it, and, you know, maybe even like the hardware I use for that particular video. But at the very most, what I would like to see is possibly another button, Video Manager, that allows you to go to a separate page, look at each individual video, and have a look at the analytics. So as you can see, like, oh, this demographic watched this scary video, or this part of the demographic watched this joyful video about this game. You know, maybe not many people watched the Slender video that I made because I was being angry at it. You know, stuff like that would be nice, but currently the game has nothing like that. You cannot tell what a video was, what game it was about, what kind of mood you was. It's basically trial and error, but it's the worst kind of trial and error. It's trial and error that seems to be completely random. It's exactly the same as Pro Gamer Manager in that respect. So hopefully we'll get some, you know, we'll see tooltips about certain aspects of the UI, about certain stuff like the devices and whatnot. And we'll get some proper feedback from our videos, depending on analytics and stuff like that. But that'd be really cool. I'd love to see that. I think the last major point I want to touch on is progression. So obviously at the start, you know, I actually do like the speed of the game. It's a hell of a lot more slower than a YouTuber's life. I feel YouTuber's life is extremely fast paced for the type of game it is, and the fact that there's no pause button or even just a varied time button makes it not as enjoyable, maybe, especially when you've got the sim elements built into that, whereas this game doesn't have the sim elements built in really, so you don't have to worry about shit like that. And, you know, the pacing of it is okay. You've got a milestone to get to when you first start. Try and get to that 1,000 so that you can start earning money from your videos. That's actually kind of realistic in a sense as well. When people first start on YouTube, you won't always be able to get in a partnership. The only thing you can do is go straight to AdSense, and that's not always the best thing to do anyway. I've discussed that on my previous channel before, why doing that was not necessarily the best idea. But yeah, in that respect, it's sort of realistic, you know. Once you get to that amount, maybe you don't necessarily get straight to monetization. Maybe you need to wait until a partner comes to you and say, "Oh, do you want to form partnership, or do you, or you can try and apply from yourself, and then get varied amounts of money depending on who you partnered with." That'd be really cool. But currently, that's kind of a milestone of the game, is to try and get to 1,000. But once you've hit that milestone, it then becomes, well, try and get to the top, because the other milestones after that is just trying to get better equipment. And I suppose one of the things that I have a bit of a problem with is the fact that you get access to everything from the get-go. Everything you can buy from, well, you can't buy it from the get-go because you still need to earn the money, but you have access to it from the get-go. You're not going to 100 weeks down the line get new games. You know, all the games are available there and then, which is a bit silly, to be honest. Bit unfortunate. Maybe release some gradually as the game goes on would be better. It would seem more realistic doing that anyway, but, you know, that's just the way it is. Same with devices as well. Maybe as the years go by, You'll get new equipment, that you can buy. Because currently the only one, you've got access to 5 computers here, but you've got access to them straight off the bat. And I think that's, maybe having a progression system for that might be better than just having money as the borderline thing. That's just my opinion anyway. So yeah. Alright then, guys, I think I'm going to leave it at that. Hopefully the devs get to listen to this, and it's certainly something, especially the amount of information. There's just not enough of it currently in the game, and what it basically it just feels like it doesn't matter my choices don't matter. The only thing that really matters is the quality of my gear and quality of my hardware stuff, and that's it, sadly. So until then, guys, I will be covering the game once it gets updated. We'll come back to it and have a look at it, but until then, I'll see you next time.